Live from Paradise Studios in New York, Strong Island Television presents Under the Radar, starring Randy Unger. Brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Tonight, Randy will be interviewing filmmaker Patricia Rozema of the new drama Mouthpiece. Randy will also be reviewing the new films Changeland and Godzilla, King of the Monsters, with special guest critics Caitlin Crowley, Dan Shaggy TV, and Jason Konigsberg. And now, here's your host, Randy Unger.
Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is another edition of Under the Radar. And as always, I have a wonderful panel of guest critics. We've got Mr. Jason Konigsberg. That's a tough name sometimes to say.
3 syllables.
But over the time I've known you, I think I've mastered it.
Yes, you have.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And we've got Caitlin Crowley.
Hi, guys.
And Dan Shaggy GB. Guys, how's it been? You were here 2 weeks ago, so I'll get to you in a minute.
You don't have to worry about us.
Jason, how
I
are you?
haven't been here in a while, but still panning and slamming movies and ready to go because we've got some strong opinions on tonight's movies.
We do indeed.
Little bit I know.
Yes.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
these are some very different movies too.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, different in the sense that they're different genres, but
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you don't like any. You only like one.
I like one of the three.
Yes.
we're discussing, yeah.
And you guys haven't seen one of them, but I want to start off with.
Not missing out.
I want to start off with Rocket Man because this movie is. I thought it was very enjoyable, and a lot of people are going to compare it to Bohemian Rhapsody, which is very similar in tone. It basically tells the story of a troubled musician and their personal life. There you go. That pretty much sums up the movie right there.
It's Elton John, for Christ's sake.
How did you not know this about Elton John?
I knew it was.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
What?
good.
I was like
about
a
to, like,
struggling musician. Like, everyone just say Elton John.
No, his personal life was a struggle. But,
Isn't that a lot of
Is it-
musicians?
yeah, I was just gonna say,
Isn't
isn't
that
like
a lot of
everybody?
people?
Yeah, I guess.
I haven't gotten a movie made about my life, but
Not yet, but that's
not
coming.
yet. No.
But I just thought it was fantastic. I didn't know much about Elton John's personal life or his. I know his music, obviously.
Oh, I knew.
But this
Stuff
movie,
about
it shone a light on his life, and I thought it was fantastic. I
Yeah,
thought-
I'd rather watch that scene from Almost Famous than singing Tiny Dancer. This was a paint-by-numbers musical biopic.
no.
It was nothing special.
Yeah,
It was. I'll say it didn't offend me as much as Bohemian Rhapsody did, but also you're giving Taron Egerton props for an amazing performance. This was not an amazing performance.
you didn't think
Rami Malek did a better job
Yes.
as Freddie Mercury.
He was
Yes.
very good too.
than he did in
Yes.
this.
Better than this.
Better than this, performance-wise.
But this was still a very strong film. in my opinion.
Yeah, what are you defining as strong? Doing an impression for a couple hours and having a lot of glitz
I think he
and
made
stuff
it.
with you?
He made it was a weird. He made Elton John his own in a way. Kind
Yeah.
of likable, kind of not likable in certain scenes, but
Wasn't that just like Freddie Mercury in the
I thought he was pretty
movie?
likable all throughout.
Oh no, I disagree.
I mean, he was kind
Freddie
of
Mercury-
kind of a selfish guy.
Freddie
but-
Mercury's life has been just as bad as Elton John, but
Yeah.
I
Probably
mean,
worse,
from-
more
Yeah.
turbulent, more
Yeah.
controversy. Elton John's life is almost not even worthy of a biopic.
Yeah, they kind of like he came out after Freddie, and like Freddie was one of the claymakers of like, hey, I'm gay and I'm a singer, and everybody was like, don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
And,
And now it's
now it's
commonplace.
commonplace,
I mean, how
yeah.
many gay singers are there?
Yeah,
So,
there's-
you know.
well, I think Mercury was bisexual, and he was kind of like hiding
Isn't that
for
what Elton
years.
John
Yeah.
is also?
But
Yeah.
but he came out like in a really profound way.
Well, Liberace. I mean,
Yeah.
did you ever see Behind the Candelabra?
Michael Douglas, yeah.
That was a better
That
movie.
was-
Really?
With Steven Soderbergh directing, you had
Yeah.
Michael Douglas giving a great
Matt
performance.
Damon. Yeah.
Matt Damon,
Fantastic.
great
Right, right.
performance. I mean, maybe because I don't know as much about Liberace, I for one learned a lot about that
Well,
movie.
same
and
with me for this.
I thought it was a terrific biopic. That kept my attention much more. And I
That
thought
was,
the performances were much
what was
stronger.
That was HBO, right?
It was it was supposed to be. It was when Steven Soderbergh was getting really mad at Hollywood when he retired and then came back 3 or 4 years later. But that was supposed to be in the theaters, and at the last second, whatever studio it was that made it decided we're not going to release this, and HBO said they bought it.
Right.
And they premiered it. It won every Golden Globe and Emmy that it was out for. But Behind the Candelabra was excellent. That was supposed to be a big prestige Oscar picture, and it didn't work out.
But it was a TV.
It was a TV movie, and it was a very good.
Yeah,
HBO does a good job with their
fantastic.
TV movies. The Deadwood movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Which,
Oh my God!
I'm
I
a
can't
big
believe that actually is
Deadwood
coming
fan.
out. I was like,
I know
wait
it's
a
out
minute,
now.
what?
Yeah. I was a huge Deadwood fan. I'm glad that show's getting some closure.
Deadwood.
So yeah.
That's a Western drama.
A Western drama,
Right.
fantastic.
Ian
Western
McShane,
drama.
right?
Ian McShane
Right.
from John Wick and
Timothy
Timothy
Olyphant.
Olyphant. Yeah.
Oh, nice. He's great.
Yeah, good cast. A lot of the cast now is more famous.
Yeah.
Where with the lady from Fear the Walking Dead, Anna Gunn from Breaking Bad. She was on it. Yeah, so it's a very good show.
Yeah, it's got a lot of people. Like when it first started, I watched it when it first started. It was very like, oh wow, this is like very different. A lot of like you kind of were thrown around quick. It was like kind of like when you watch the first season of Westworld. You're thrown around quick. You have to learn everything in like a split second, and then you kind of like they kind of like lay it down.
Yeah.
This did the same thing. It just went boom out of the gate, and then all of a sudden it
And
kind
it
of
goes
like.
at a nice pace. Though.
But then,
it goes
yeah.
and you get to know the characters. You get to and Stephen Tobolowsky was in it.
Oh my God.
Ned Ryerson, I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
you love him
Happy
from
birthday
Groundhog
to
Day.
him.
Powers Booth, who recently
Oh, yeah.
passed away, was
Yeah.
in it. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
A couple, maybe a year or two ago.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he passed away. I always thought
He was
him
always
as
a great villain.
the cinematic version of Oliver Stone.
Yep.
He looked like Oliver Stone, well, 100%.
I loved him in Sudden Death.
Yes, he was a good villain in Sudden Death. He was a good villain in Sudden Death.
Die Hard at a hockey game.
Die Hard at a hockey game. Yeah, Van Damme and
Yeah,
him.
didn't think
going
I'd reference
toe-to-toe.
that tonight, but
Whenever he, I'm not trying not to give away the ending, but when he gets killed,
yeah.
I now
In a 24-year-old movie.
I want to give it away.
movie,
wanna
and he
give
is
it
the
away.
bad guy.
He
so let's
dies.
not-
Yeah.
When he dies.
It's 24
dies.
years old.
I know they do the same thing over at Death of Smoochie where they push up the guy and he's like, wait a minute, I'm doing the same thing, sudden death,
They reference that in Death of Smoochie?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I like Death of Smoochie.
When
Yeah, I remember it.
very
when Buggy gets
weird
pushed out and he's like, I never saw Venice, and then he hits the ice.
Oh, I don't
It's the same
remember
thing
that.
with that.
Oh,
where he-
okay.
He fell out, but then didn't his character, like the guy in sudden death, he survived, but then the airplane landed on him.
Something small. The
Yeah. Wasn't
Jumbotron
Yeah,
smashes.
smash.
I think.
Yeah.
He landed on the ice and he's just like.
This is how bad
oh.
Rocket Man is. We're talking about a 24-year-old Van Damme
Yes.
movie. Let me just point that out to the
What a
viewer.
segue.
That's what we're talking about here, because that's more interesting than Rocket Man.
Yes.
Okay.
You've got Jean-Claude Van Damme, you've got Peter Hyams at the helm.
It's more interesting than Rocket
Rocket
Man.
Man.
Yeah, well-
Okay, that's what it comes down to.
But I am a fan
And
of
I'm a
Rocket
fan
Man.
of Peter Hyams. He makes good A-list B movies.
You guys
Yeah.
Stay Tuned.
Never saw Stay Tuned.
What do you, oh my God.
But 2010.
yeah. The Relic.
Love the Relic.
Yeah.
Underrated monster
I met
movie.
Tom Sizemore once at a
Was he on drugs?
I was like,
I've been
I
told
love you
he's
in the-
always
Yeah,
messed
he
up.
was, I think.
I've been told he's always
He was
so-
either drunk or high or both.
He's
I don't
always
know.
something
It was
like
bad.
that. I know
You
other
have an
people that
A
have
or
met
B.
him,
Yeah.
and they've said the same
It
thing.
was bad.
I think Tom. I've met once. Just,
Oh, you met him?
You look at him. You're like, not gonna. I didn't meet him. I saw him.
He's
and I'm like,
off.
Imagine working with him.
oh god.
That's got to be difficult.
Oh, God.
If you had to share a scene with him, if you were directing him,
Yeah, I
that's
was
got to be
immediately
difficult.
was like, no, I'm not
He
going.
doesn't
I'm
strike
not
me as a
touching that.
professional type or someone who would remember his lines.
But he was good in The Relic. He was
Yeah.
good in Saving Private Ryan. There was a while where all he did was war movies. Saving Private Ryan,
comedy
Pearl
movies.
Harbor,
Yeah.
Black Hawk Down. Like those movies
Yeah,
all
yeah.
came out within like 2 or
and
3
those are
years
all
of each other.
Bruckheimer, or some
Yep.
of them are Bruckheimer.
Bruckheimer was Black Hawk Down and Pearl Harbor. Yeah, so
Yeah,
2 of the
yeah.
3 were, yeah, so it's,
So,
yeah.
Okay.
We're talking about Tom Sizemore now, who hasn't mattered in
moved
at least
on.
15
And
years instead of Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Much
movie
better.
is a boring paint-by-numbers biopic. Skip it.
It is not boring. It is entertaining.
it.
The
It's-
music is good.
Yes.
Listen to Elton John's greatest hits. Don't see the movie.
I would say
Save
see the
yourself
movie.
$15.
Maybe wait for it to come on Netflix or just watch it online.
So that's not, see, as a critic, we're supposed to be recommending, should they go out and spend their money and spend their time? You're saying see it on Netflix. You
Yeah.
can watch anything on
I
Netflix
didn't
if
say
you
it
have the
was
subscription.
a great movie. Just very entertaining.
Well, okay, very entertaining. They
Yes.
should then they should
that-
go
there we
see
go.
it. All right. I don't know.
Narrow it down.
Yeah.
Get to the root of the problem.
If people should actually go and see this movie, don't see it. Listen to the music. Buy the soundtrack if you really want to spend money.
Are you guys going to see it?
no.
No.
Wow. No, not even hesitation there.
And this has
I-
nothing to do with me, does
No.
it?
No, honestly,
I looked
I
at it
was
and I was
never an
like,
Elton John fan.
Not an Elton John fan.
Not
I
an Elton
was-
John fan.
I was an Elton John. I am an Elton
yeah.
John fan, but like it
His
looked
music never grabbed
terrible.
me. I'm a very big music
I
buff.
felt the same way you did until I saw him live. And I saw him. I saw
Oh,
him
you
with
see
Billy
any-
Joel. I
Oh,
saw him with
yeah,
Billy Joel,
then-
and I was there. 99% of the reason I was there was to see Billy Joel.
Well,
And then
yeah.
Elton John opened, and I walked out. More like into Elton John, and
he's-
glad I saw him live.
Well, anybody
but I
live
was
is
there
gonna
for
be
Billy
amazing.
Joel. Well, that's not true. I've
it's
seen
not
some
always-
bad guys.
yeah, I've seen-
I saw
There's
Stone
some
Temple
bad-
Pilots, and Scott Weiland was not having one of
Yeah.
his good nights.
You wasted your money with that.
Jason,
'cause-
what would have made this movie better?
A little bit more. I like the musical aspect. Either go all out Moulin Rouge musical,
Yeah, the fantasy
or
element.
don't. Or the Bobby Darin musical with Kevin Spacey, Beyond the Sea. That had the right idea,
Okay.
and I felt that if they focused it a little more, either they're going to be a musical or they're going to be more like Bohemian Rhapsody, a straight drama with music in the background.
Yeah.
I would have appreciated that more, or just some semblance of originality. We were on this show one time and we were ripping apart a movie, and someone, I believe it was Amanda, she said that she really liked it, and she's like, you critics, you just want originality. Something that wasn't just, they said, oh, this formula worked for Bohemian Rhapsody, let's try it for Elton John. And that just, something that would have made it stand out. Instead, even if I like this movie, I will forget about this movie.
Yeah.
6
I love
months
the
from now.
fantasy element to it. That was beautifully done.
It's kind of like what was it with
Somewhat, yeah.
with Dirt? That
Dirt?
It's basically
The Motley Crue movie?
Yes.
Yeah, that I had problems with as well. And I like Motley Crue's
It
movies
has
a lot.
problems,
Yeah.
but it was a little bit better of a way of telling how their whole story was, where it was
More
like,
interesting story.
Yeah.
Okay, than Elton
Yeah.
John's in some ways. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
because they came out the gate where it was like, okay, this is all the problems they're having, and then it's kind of like sombers down. So it went like tout and heavy first, and then it kind of like, but it does it like their music, where it was extremely like front forward, and then all of a sudden it's like, we can peter out.
Maybe if they just did it like something where this isn't a good example, like the Steve Jobs movie. Maybe if it was like during
Wait,
a
the
concert.
Ashton Kutcher or
the not that the Michael Fassbender one.
Okay.
Maybe
The
if it
one-
was a
the
little
better
more
one.
like where it was a concert and then backstage there were problems happening and he was having issues and then they have flashbacks. It wasn't.
Didn't work for you.
No,
at
it
all.
did not work for me. It's not terrible. I
Yeah.
mean, there's worse movies. We're going to be talking about a worse movie later
Right.
tonight.
Yeah,
but
in about 1 minute.
It certainly wasn't one that I would say you need to go see this. If you love Elton John, then
Oh, yeah.
you
Just
know,
listen to his music.
I agree
yeah,
with that.
just listen to his
statement.
music.
Just listen.
Maybe it'll make you like him less because it's a
Yeah.
bad movie. Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Agree to disagree.
We'll
I
agree
thought
to
it was a good
disagree
one.
on
I
this
thought it was a
one.
good
Thumbs down.
All
Yeah,
right.
no, not for me. Yeah.
Next up, guys, we've got Changeland. Basically, this is, I guess, a dramedy about a young man played by Seth Green who was originally supposed to go to Thailand with his wife, but he finds out that she might be cheating on him. So she basically brings his estranged friend with him, played by Breckenmeyer, and hilarity ensues. I thought it was a good one. I didn't think it was great, but I did like the performances in that, especially from Macaulay Culkin.
Wow.
But Dan, you're shaking your head at me.
Yeah, it was. There was no hilarity. Like there was a good amount of jokes that they threw out there, but you just sat there going, "Oh, that was a joke."
Crickets. If we were in a theater, you might have heard crickets.
Yes.
I hear crickets right now. But no,
Me or her? Okay.
whatever.
I would just say, here's what I'm sick and tired of.
Uh-oh.
And this has been a trend that's going on. I blame
This
Adam
really grinds
Sandler for
my
this.
gears.
I blame Adam Sandler for this.
Uh-oh.
I am
Oh.
sick and tired.
There we go.
I know what it is.
Of getting these movie companies, watching these actors get paid to be on vacation with their friends.
Yes.
This was an
There we go.
advertisement for Thailand. It made me want to go to Thailand
Yeah.
and eat Thai food and see the beautiful beaches. That's all this was. And Breckenmeyer and most of the cast, the Brenda Song, they're friends. They do Robot Chicken together. They do all these things together. And so Seth Green somehow was able to con some people to pay for his vacation with his buddies and their families to all just hang out in Thailand and get paid for it.
And and they brought Randy Orton in with the whole thing.
And
Like, hey,
Randy,
Orton,
who
throw
was
him
it?
in,
You-
why
that
not?
Randy Orton was the best performance in the movie.
Yes.
Because I wasn't expecting anything from him.
Yeah.
And he did a decent job. I think he could do more.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I think he
They
has
got,
potential.
what was it? They got Batista now. Where
But,
he's,
well, Batista's good.
he's a really
There's
good
the
actor.
Spectre, the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's
Batista's
doing
got the Uber movie. I
the
forgot.
Uber
yeah,
movie.
the-
They got now
Stuber.
Stuber, yeah.
They have now it's a cop and a half kind of story where he's an FBI agent. She finds out.
Oh, yeah. He's a spy.
Yeah, he's a spy.
CIA agent.
CIA, and I can't
He can
remember.
act.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying he's The Rock, but Dwayne Johnson, but some of these wrestlers can act.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
My Spy.
Okay, I don't know that
he's,
one.
No, he's charismatic.
He's very
Okay,
charismatic.
yeah.
He's very good.
And Randy Orton could do the same. If you gave
Yeah.
Randy Orton the right script, he
Yeah.
could deliver. But this movie, this is what I'm sick of. And we're watching rich people get paid vacations.
Yep.
And I just,
And then
it
they
did
get
nothing
paid
for me.
Interesting.
because they paid for, like they got the studio pays for the vacation. Then people paid the studio
Here's
to pay for that
how I
vacation.
knew I was in trouble with this. The lazy opening credits.
Yes.
What terrible opening, unimaginative. And Seth Green is a funny guy.
Yeah.
Is a talented guy. But he just... The humor, he should have added some animation to this or some voices or something instead of just this
The depressing
pretentious, depressing.
guy.
I get what he's going for, and he's trying to be dramatic. Either he needed someone else to direct him,
Yeah.
because it can be a good
Yeah,
actor, or he just it was
He
a
got
paid
lost.
vacation.
He got lost in translation.
Yeah.
But that was a better movie. This was
Yeah.
this
that
was.
was
Now, you mentioned Adam Sandler. Are you referring to Blended?
Blended is
Yes.
one.
Or the Grown-Ups?
Every movie where he's in Hawaii is another, which has been like 5 of them.
Grown Ups?
Yeah.
I disagree. I liked Grown Ups.
I like
Well,
the first one.
Grown-Ups,
The second one was terrible.
Second one was terrible.
I-
The first one, that was fun.
He gets a lot of them. They're paid vacations.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, and God bless him, he gets to do that, and they make money, and good for him. But
there's
I,
gonna-
you know, and then some of his movies are good. 50
Yeah.
First Dates was filmed in Hawaii.
But that's a
and
good
I
movie.
thought that was
That's
good.
that's a
Punch
quality
Drunk
movie.
Love was filmed in Hawaii. I
Yep.
thought that was very good. Blended was filmed in Africa somewhere.
Yeah,
and
something like that.
Once again, well, you know,
I don't like
we
that one.
paid the bill on that.
That's a very good
Okay.
point.
Blended. I was not a
No,
fan
that wasn't
of.
a-
It
I
was
Caught it
not-
on TV like a few weeks. It's bad.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Adam Sandler hasn't made a good movie, like a really good movie in quite some
Yeah.
time.
I'd say
He is
Punch
good.
Drunk Love was his last.
That's his best
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I've heard Spanglish is pretty decent too.
Decent.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's okay. I liked. No one saw this movie.
Funny people.
I did not
That
like
was
that.
good.
I
Depressing.
thought
but
it was
good.
interesting. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was
Yeah,
interesting.
I was bummed out with that one, but I liked. No one saw this one. Rain Over Me.
No.
Is that
9/11,
Don
him
Cheadle?
and Don
Right?
Cheadle, yeah.
I saw that. It was good.
I
Yes.
thought that was a great performance by
Yep.
him.
Him and
Great
Cheadle.
performance by
They
Don Cheadle.
worked off each other.
And a good
When-
9/11 story.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't like most movies about 9/11. I think they tackle it from the wrong angle.
Yeah.
This was a good victims, survivors' guilt
Yeah.
kind of angle about family and friendship and how it tore people apart and then brought people together.
Yeah.
Usually when Sandler does drama, he does it really well.
Isn't that with most comedians?
Yeah.
Not all.
Eddie
but-
Murphy, certainly
Are you
Robin
talking-
Williams.
Are you talking
Yeah.
about Mr.
Yeah.
Church?
Didn't see that one,
Okay.
but no, Eddie Murphy. I think he's a great actor.
Yeah, no.
Okay, Richard Pryor, great comedian, not a great actor. Robin Williams, great comedian
of
and
course,
great
of course,
actor.
of
Yes.
Okay, so not everyone can do what Robin Williams can. Jim Carrey, great comedian,
Yeah,
great actor.
great,
and when
great.
he does drama, you've got The Truman Show, you've got Eternal Sunshine,
Yep.
you've got to a lesser extent Man on the Moon. He's a very good dramatic actor.
What was
And if we go back even further, Jack Lemmon.
yeah, that and also.
Well, yeah, he was an actor first and foremost.
True.
I
Yeah.
think, yeah. So.
But with Jim Carrey, he's got that show on
Kidding.
So-
Or
yes,
something. Yeah, I
Kidding.
tried to
that?
get into it. I couldn't get into it.
It's
That's
Death
Michelle.
to Smoochie. It's
Yes.
very much like Death to
Yeah.
Smoochie,
But
but
that's-
not as good.
yeah.
Not
That's
as dark
Michelle-
and savage and
yeah.
satire.
Michelle
one-
Gondry, right? Who did
Yeah.
Be Kind Rewind
And Eternal Sunshine.
and
Yep.
Science of Sleep. Great director.
yeah, it's like that show it's good, but it's not like you said, it's not great.
No.
I couldn't get
but
into
it
it, yeah.
tackles it the wrong like it does it tackles the dark side of everything a lot different and a lot like it's like when they want to go heavy-handed, you're like, ooh, this is gonna be the part where he's gonna do like this, and all of a sudden it's like,
So basically,
Okay,
so
yeah.
basically, it's like a look at like the Mr. Rogers type.
yeah,
of, okay.
basically he's
But there's a darkness
Yeah.
to it.
Right.
Not Death to Smoochie
Yeah,
darkness,
that
but
was-
dark, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the pure, innocent, it's not,
No, that-
Sesame Street or Barney that you think it really
I love the
is,
segue
yeah.
where we
It's
got
still
it.
show business,
Yeah.
let's say that.
So
yeah,
Changeland.
yeah,
Dan, what did
Skip it.
yeah, skip it.
Skip it. What about Macaulay Culkin's role?
I thought
He's
it was-
fine.
He's fine.
Yeah, it's
I
nice
thought
to
he
see
was
him
the
acting
highlight.
again.
I want more of
him.
Culkin is just he will be Macaulay Culkin, and he will be like even when he's in any role, you kind of sit there going, you know what?
He's Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
But they're all friends. He's been friends with Seth Green since they did
yeah.
24-hour Party People together, or
Yes.
something like that, back in '03. So
like that.
these are all friends. They're all just hanging
Wait,
out.
were they in Party Monster together?
That's
Yes,
it. Party
it was Party
Monster. I
Monster.
just
That's
said the
the-
wrong movie.
I was
Party
thinking, like,
Monster.
like,
My bad.
That was a strange.
Okay,
one.
yeah.
Then immediately when you said that, I was like, wait a minute, 100 cigarettes? Like,
My
oh,
bad,
God.
my
Yeah,
bad, my bad, my
200
bad.
200
200 cigarettes. Ben Affleck and Casey
Yes.
Affleck.
That's a
yeah.
good one.
Okay,
That's a
yeah,
really good one.
but yeah.
That was a good one.
Exactly.
I actually thought I was like, I
Party
went.
Monster. That
Yep.
was the first movie he made
But-
in like
but-
9 years. years after Richie Rich.
But between Richie Rich, Getting Even and Dad, and Party Monster, that was some gap. That was almost 10 years.
It took 9.
But he did do little like small like.
And he didn't need the money.
Yeah.
He hasn't needed the money since Home Alone 2, I don't think.
Well, didn't his mom or his
dad?
They like
did
screwed him
really,
over that?
His dad
Was trying to,
allegedly.
like, take all
I mean,
his
who
money and
knows?
stuff.
I don't know. Yeah.
But,
Lindsay Lohan. There are a lot of these child stars
troubled
have those
kid
kinds
actors.
of problems. Yeah.
Wow.
But he made a little small like it was like a small snippet where he was like an Uber driver just driving people around, but then he gets like somebody in the car, and he starts talking to him, and then like the guy's like, "Do you just want me to drive in?" He's like, "Yeah, if you want to drive, I'm kind of just like kind of low on myself right now," and then he goes off on like how he's like, "You know what, my parents are like they left me at home for like hours, like days." They went away, and they left my ass here. And you keep going on. You're like, wait a minute, is he talking about Home Alone with this whole thing? But he keeps going on and on and on. And then he starts yelling about his girlfriend, and then he thinks about his ex-wife, and you see him just spiral down. And then he goes back to being like nice, like wholesome. Yeah, that's great. And it goes like that, and you're like, what the hell did he just watch?
So acting
A
aside,
mental breakdown.
Yeah.
acting aside, story aside, did you guys appreciate Seth Green's direction?
No.
Nothing there.
Anyone could have directed.
No.
Yeah.
It looked very generic.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
a
yeah.
I
very-
could direct
It
that.
didn't have any visual flair. It didn't have any sense of timing or pacing or thematic,
It
resonance
is
with the lighting and the cinematography.
But no,
it was just nothing.
I mean,
It's
it is
just
beautiful. It is
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
beautiful.
But you could film. Anyone could film Thailand. Anyone could film that. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
You could put I could direct it with a drone. That's how visually it was.
That's probably how they did it.
Because Thailand is beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
visually beautiful, but
I do want to go to Thailand.
Boring.
I did too, and that
Next
movie was
question.
a 2-hour commercial or a 90-minute
Yeah.
commercial to go to Thailand.
$15 for me
Well,
to see that.
only thing we needed at the end of that movie was Thailand. Go here.
Literally, I felt that
Call
after
this
Crazy
number.
Rich Asians also. That was a beautiful commercial to go to Singapore.
Yeah.
God, Singapore looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
That
So,
was
I
good.
mean, it just...
A very good-looking movie. Sure.
Yeah, so, but anyone could have directed that. You want to see a better looking Thailand, see The Beach, or they
Yeah.
reference
Oh
James
my
Bond, The Man with the Golden Gun,
Yes.
or
That's my least favorite Bond film, by the way.
Christopher Lee was the bad guy.
No.
Christopher Lee was incredible.
Everything else
Oh.
but him and the
Knick-Knack was
little
annoying.
person.
Knick-Knack was the women were gorgeous.
Knick-Knack.
Britt Eklund, Maud Adams.
What about that sheriff guy,
Oddjob?
the southern sheriff?
Oh, I forgot his
hate
name.
him
J.W.
so
Pepper.
much.
He was in 2 Bond
Yeah,
movies.
I
He was
know.
in Live and Let Die and The Man with the Golden Gun.
Live and
Back to
Let Die
back.
is another one. It's
Yeah.
Oh,
terrible.
that guy.
Yeah.
Oh
What
my
was his
God.
name? He just died recently.
J.W.
J.W.
Yeah.
Pepper was the character's name.
Oh, okay.
The actor's name, I
Hold
don't
on.
remember.
Oh.
Yeah, look that up.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
he was
yeah.
Sheriff J.W. Pepper.
Yeah.
If you pointy heads got out of your pajamas, you wouldn't be late for work when they're running by chasing James
Wasn't
Bond.
he in other?
Oh yeah, he's
non-
Clifton
non-
James. That's his name.
That's his name?
He
Yeah.
was in Lone Star. He was in a bunch of John Sayles movies. Yeah.
He was in a bunch.
Yeah, Clifton James, good
Yes.
old Southern actor. Yeah,
Oh, dear
Clifton
God.
James.
He's like what was it?
Clifton James.
Yeah, when did he die? Like 2 or 3
Or-
years ago?
or-
2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
From
it's
Spokane,
kinda,
Washington.
He sounded Southern.
Yeah, he
played
did.
Southern very well.
It's
And he was
kinda
in
like,
John
Borderline.
Sayles movies as the Southern
Yeah.
sheriff. Yeah.
It's like Borderline, where he always played that good like old, like whatever the hell like grumpy character. Where it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, no, he was Clifton James. He was
All right.
good character. actor,
Yes.
All right, guys. So the moment we've all been waiting for.
The main event.
Yeah, pretty much. Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Hold on.
No. What do we got
I
here?
get the pillow.
What do we got here?
Simba.
Oh, thank you. Disgusting.
I actually licked my finger for that one.
I know you did. I let it happen.
And you stopped and let it happen.
Yeah, well, it's TV. Why not? So we got the third installment of
That
the
always
legendary
expected.
Monsterverse, and this focuses on a group of scientists and military personnel who are basically trying to chase down all the titans who are ruining the world by their massive battles, epic scale battles, and the humans are basically in the middle of this crossfire. And yeah, I didn't think it was that great. I thought it was better than the first Godzilla, but nothing beats Skull Island for me. And I'm gonna be ripped apart by that, I know. And I'll start with Dan. Let's get it out of the way.
Well, do you want a history lesson before we do
Let's
this? crap?
have a small history lesson.
Okay.
Is this a B movie history lesson or a Godzilla movie?
And will
Godzilla
you?
movie.
Are you gonna lick me again? Because
No.
okay.
No,
Okay. Thanks.
maybe.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, with the Godzilla history, basically Toho original, they originally made it to be like like the original cut that we've all seen and all know about was the one with Raymond Burr. That wasn't the original. Gojira was the original Japanese cut, and they made it more of a like kind of like the I'm gonna say it like more like the theory that like nuclear weapons are bad, this is that, and this is what like comes of it. They were basically putting it in the satire of this is all about nuclear weapons and fallout, and also because Hiroshima and all Nagasaki, all that happened, and like
The first one was what, 1950?
50 something, 56, 58,
56.
mid 50s.
Yeah.
So about 10 years after
Yeah.
Hiroshima.
Okay, yeah.
So they were like, this is our way of saying, you know what, this nuclear deterrents are the worst thing in the world, but America was like, nah, you're just being sort of losers. We're going to put Raymond Burr, make this more of a monster movie. And like, they actually filmed Raymond Burr standing in just rooms randomly, and then chop them up into like pieces where they can put them into different like scenes. Like a lot of those scenes.
Sounds like Bowfinger. Let's film Kit Ramsey, Eddie Murphy from afar, and now we got a shot, we got a picture.
Yeah, pretty much. But
Ridiculous.
yeah, no, they had a whole thing where it was like that. That was the original like way that they went about Godzilla, where they were just like it was supposed to be like Shin Godzilla was actually the closest to what they originally wanted the Godzilla movies to go. But then like because it was like so Americanized, like Godzilla being like fight this monster, do this, do that, and Godzilla was always the bad guy. But then eventually, he's the good guy. It's like
Subjective in a way.
yeah, basically 35 years of Godzilla and. Was 35 or 65?
No, 60.
60.
Yep, 60.
I
Yeah.
forgot. I'm bad at numbers.
And then after the 1956 version, there was a slew of other Godzillas.
Yeah.
Mothra.
Been many Godzillas
Yeah.
over the years, many cheap Japanese.
And they tried to bring it back
Godzillas.
with the 1998 Roland Emmerich version,
That was horrible.
which I thought it was a fun movie. It had very good visual effects. That's
No,
probably
it didn't.
What, for
Yeah,
a
it
soup
did.
can?
Godzilla didn't look good.
You didn't think so?
Not that Godzilla.
I think
no.
Wait, he's
I think
saying
it-
that movie is better and you don't like this one?
No, I like.
I didn't say it was better. I just said it was.
He said
I
it
like
was visual.
this. I like the
It
new
was
one.
watchable.
We haven't
I
gotten to
like
my
the new
opinion
one.
yet.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I
Oh.
like the new one. Yeah.
I like the new one.
I thought the new one was, I would say that might be one of the best Godzillas
Yeah, it
ever.
was-
And
it
I
was-
don't get why the critics, other than us,
Yeah.
are ripping it apart. They're saying they're being really unfair.
It's
and
like,
I don't
it's
understand.
too much. Like you said before.
too
like,
much
Too much action.
Wait. The 2014 or this?
The new
new
one
one.
today,
Yeah.
King of
Godzilla,
Monsters.
King of the Monsters.
Right.
See this movie.
Yes.
If you're watching at home, see this movie. If you want action, and there is a human element, there is a family. They have a good
is a-
story. You care about them, and no, they don't bog you down with dialogue. They give you just enough, and you can use your brain and fill in the blanks.
Exactly.
It's very well done. It's good acting,
And
good direction.
I did
good
not like the
script.
battles. I think they were just way too over the top and overdrawn.
That's
and
what a
over-
Godzilla
It's
movie
Mothra.
They're too long.
Oh,
I fell asleep during some of those.
How about the production design of the visuals when Godzilla was underwater and you see that cave that
No.
it was beautiful.
Visually,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
It was amazing.
And then like
Visually, it's
a good
beautiful.
amount of the fights.
Godzilla
once he
destroyed
brings-
Fenway Park. The Yankee fan in me was thrilled. Okay, I was so happy.
All right.
That made me as happy as Sanchez hitting home runs against the Red Sox this weekend. It was great.
But I would have liked to see more of the family with Kyle Chandler and Vera.
They
No,
had
I don't
enough.
need to know about the
need-
family.
I wanna see more
because
of that.
the movie is not about the family.
It was, but it was enough.
Yeah, it was enough. It was
That's
enough
what
to
I'm saying.
give
It
you
was
It
a
was
balancing
enough.
act.
The movie
Yeah.
is not family is suffering because
God.
monsters are destroying the city. The movie is named
Monsters.
Godzilla.
Yeah. King of the
movie
monsters.
is about Godzilla. I
Gods-
don't really need.
Yeah.
Fine.
I don't think
And they
anybody
did
would
What's
go.
just
the
enough.
girl's 11? What's 11? What's her
Billy,
name?
Miley Billy.
Millie Bobby Brown.
That
Okay.
From Stranger Things.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was
good.
Okay.
She was very good.
To
Yeah.
me,
Very
honestly, she was okay. Her acting.
Vera Farmiga was good as the
Yeah.
mother. Kyle
Yes.
Chandler was good as the father.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
human element is there.
The-
It's not overly
Yeah.
there, but it's enough where you know what they're feeling, you know their motivations, because
Yep.
she turns against one parent and goes with another because the
Yeah.
parents are split up. And you can fill in the blanks. You have a brain, you can
And
do
they
it.
and
Okay.
what I really liked about this is because yes, they focused on the monsters because it wasn't a human element. Like it was a human
there
element,
was a
but
human
They did
like
that
you
too
said,
much in
it's
the
not
first
too
one.
much.
Ken Watanabe had
Yeah.
a human element
Yep.
where he's, with Godzilla and he feels the emotions that Godzilla's
Right.
feeling.
That's what
Sally
I also
Hawkins.
liked about this movie.
Sally
was
Hawkins
good.
as well.
The Titans had physical emotions,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it was like
You
you
knew
could
who to cheer
see,
for,
yeah.
you knew who to boo.
You
Yeah.
could see Godzilla is feeling pain.
When he
You
was
could
in pain,
see
you cringed,
Mothra
yeah.
like she knew he was
Yeah,
in pain.
yeah.
You could see what's it?
Rodan.
Rodan,
King Ghidorah.
Gojira.
You could even tell that he
Ghidorah.
was
King Ghidorah.
King
That was the
Ghidorah. You
three-headed
just
one.
saw that he was
And what a
like,
great scene when he
I'm a
Oh my
villain
God,
and
he
I'm
came out.
badass and I can, I'll do what I want. Like it wasn't like I liked the human element, but I liked how the monsters were portrayed.
I
more.
agree. I felt the
actually-
monsters were characters.
Yeah,
Yes.
they
And
actually
with
gave
very little. Hats off to director Michael Dougherty. I want to see him. I hope this movie's a success. I want to
will
see
be.
him make more big budget action films.
Yeah, 'cause it was
he's
fantastic.
been mostly a horror aficionado, horror specialist. He did Trick or Treat, which I love.
Yep.
And he did Krampus, which I liked. This was, I mean,
Krampus was okay.
Krampus was okay. It had enough that it kept me. It had enough humor, enough. It wasn't scary, but it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It was a
campy.
very
It was
borderline,
good.
a good
It was-
campy horror movie
Yeah,
for
it
the
was good campy
holidays.
horror.
Yeah.
He was
Semi-social
involved with
commentary.
Superman Returns as well.
But he's only directed 2 or 3 movies.
Yeah.
And I think
Just
I named
produced.
the
He's
2
involved
biggest
in
ones that he
direct.
did.
Yeah,
Prior
yeah.
to, yes, Bryan Singer.
Yes.
Bohemian Rhapsody directed that, but
Yeah.
they don't want to
Yes.
let you know that because
Herbert.
he's
Yeah.
one of the offenders now, Bryan
Yeah.
Singer.
Yep.
But no, the Godzilla, the monsters themselves had personalities.
They actually
and
had.
they had enough. You knew Ghidorah was the bad guy with just very minimal moments. You knew when to cringe when King Kong was in pain,
Yeah.
or to root for Mothra or whatever.
And you could,
Yeah.
it's that like, and I liked that. I like that kind of portrayal. Like, you don't need to say words in order to portray an emotion. Like, I
thing with the
knew
humans, yeah.
what was going on with Mothra, and it wasn't even like you could say nothing. And I was like, wow, the visual effects of there is
Excellent.
really
Yeah, it
excellent.
treated the
and-
audience with respect.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
treated the audience and assumed we had the intelligence to fill in the blanks
Yeah.
and
And
connect
I-
the dots, and
I,
we did. Yeah.
I loved what was it? Oh God, William Bradley.
Bradley
Whitford from
Whitford,
Cabin
yes.
in the Woods, basically playing the same type
He's
of
great
role.
in
Yeah.
everything.
He was, good comic
fantastic,
relief.
and I
Yeah,
kept
he was
going
good
like,
comic relief.
that guy's like
He had good
went
lines,
because
too.
I had to tell we were walking back to the car, and I'm like, that's the villain from Billy Madison, right?
That's right.
And I'm like,
or not to be.
to me, I always think of him now from Get Out.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
was the father.
And
of
of course
Get
the
Out,
West Wing.
yes.
I
I
never
loved
really
his,
watched
like,
the West
I
Wing.
loved his underlining sarcastic
Yeah.
lines.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
what are
he
you
does.
gonna do? Invite him in for a beer? Like, I was like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
He was also in Adventures in Babysitting.
Yes.
Yep.
Played
Yep.
the jerk boyfriend.
But no, this is one of the better Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
This is, to me, this is one of the better summer blockbuster movies of the year so far. So I hope it's a big hit. I hope we
will
get
be.
more.
Hopefully.
I'm looking forward to Godzilla versus King Kong. I'm looking forward to more Godzilla with King Ghidorah. I thought they've got a nice universe, and I hope that more people feel. The critics are not being kind to it, and I feel like maybe I saw a different movie than they did. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm hoping that they do because there is with the they're gonna from what they're showing and what they've kind of spanned out because they have they did a couple of nods, which was I was there was a couple of nods that I was like, all right, that's a nod, but
You saw some nods from the older, the giant spider, Aspiga. He was in there from Son of Godzilla.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you saw a few other nods that I'm not a Godzilla aficionado
but
to pick up on all of
the
them.
one nod that I saw and I was like, all right, I get the nod, but at the same time, it's not them, and it's not how how Mothra always the 2 little twins. They that
There
were
were
stuck.
twins in this?
There was they had when the lady shows the picture of her generational family.
Oh, I didn't
the
pick
2
up on
at the
that.
bottom.
Good
the
call.
smaller of the
Because I know
whole
Mothra
family.
had that,
Yes.
but I didn't pick up on that.
I was
that
like, I
was the
saw that. I'm
twins.
like, wait a minute, that's the twins.
There was a reference. There was an old B movie called The Giant Claw, and a guy pulls his parachute up, and a big bird monster pterodactyl thing eats him.
Yeah.
This guy pushed the passenger ejector
just
seat.
goes right
it goes
into
right
Rodan.
into Rodan's
Yeah,
mouth.
I'm
I
like-
laughed. I
I'm
thought
like,
that was
there we go.
hysterical. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
And
So-
I was like, as soon as he popped out, and I'm like, and you're gone.
That was a real. I didn't see it coming. It happened, and I was the only one in the theater laughing. But I don't know. Yeah, so packed house, no one really laughing.
Oh.
So
Good movie.
Next up, it's Kong versus Godzilla.
Yes.
Yes.
Are there any other creatures or characters that are gonna
They got the
pop
big
up later
ones
on
in
in
this
They
one.
got the big ones.
ones.
Yeah.
Is that right?
They
Like,
still have to bring out. They still have Gigan. They got Gigas. They still have.
I don't know who they are.
yeah. it's
Okay.
that's
I knew,
gibberish to me.
I knew Rodan. I saw Aspiga, the big
Yeah. I
know
spider.
Mothra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Mothra.
Right, right.
I knew King Ghidorah, the
Yeah, they
three-headed
got
Monster Zero.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kamachia. That's still that they have to bring out.
How about
What-
Mechagodzilla? I remember
Mechagodzilla?
seeing that when I was a kid.
Was
That-
that the
Yeah.
metal version?
That was
There's a metal
Mechagodzilla. It was a
version.
giant Godzilla versus Robot Godzilla.
Yeah. They had it was like fake Godzilla versus real Godzilla, and,
Godzilla,
and then when he
yeah.
starts burning his things off, he's like, oh shit, There's a Mecha Godzilla.
And Dan, where is that scene where Godzilla's rolling on his tail?
That's just a thing.
That's
What
actually
movie is that
from any of the Godzillas. It was stock footage that they used. Every time Godzilla would get either picked up and thrown, they just had him. And it was like the funniest thing in the world.
What the hell is that? That's awesome.
Yeah, they have a ton of monsters. They actually got the gargantuans. Basically they're Sasquatch-looking monsters.
Okay.
That just they're twins. They're basically ones against the other. Batra, they got the opposite of Mothra.
They got a whole bunch of stuff
so
coming.
many.
They got so much.
They got so much to work
He's just
with.
naming all these names,
Yeah.
but they're
But
all
sitting here like,
I'm
what?
really hoping that they bring about the I'm gonna give this away. Fuck it.
Do it.
With the secret ending after everything is said and done.
Yes.
I'm hoping that they bring about the mecha, like definitely the Mecha Godzillas, the Mecha Ghidorah, and all those like the Mecha series where it was they bring it into, hey, we're not like because King Ghidorah was not of this earth, like we need to bring in the alien element where it was like people are on Earth. There's some people that are not Earthlings.
And I'm cool with that.
I'm really hoping
mystery.
they-
There's some cool. That's
I'm really
Keep it
hoping
going.
that's it.
Keep the story going.
Because
Why
that was one of the funnier or the better parts of like the Toho series when they started bringing in the aliens and stuff, where it was like Godzilla would just be like, oh, he's getting controlled by an alien spaceship. There it goes. There it goes.
He's more of the Godzilla expert.
I've
than
noticed.
I saw him when I was a kid. I liked Godzilla movies. I couldn't tell you the names of all of the ones that I saw. I know I saw King Kong versus
I was
Godzilla.
more of a Kong guy.
Son of Godzilla.
Yeah.
The original King Kong is a masterpiece.
Yes,
The
it is. Of course,
1933.
Max Steiner's score.
That's a phenomenal film.
even-
the 70s one wasn't good.
It
with
had
Jeff
some
Bridges.
merit.
Jessica Lange
She's
was
great.
excellent.
Yeah, yeah.
I would give her
I like
credit.
Bridges though as a hero.
Bridges always good. So yes, it
Yeah.
had better actors in that movie.
Oh,
but
the
the
further-
Dino De Laurentiis
Yes.
1976
97.
one.
I was
yeah,
trying
it
to
was
figure out 'cause I'm
76.
like Bridges. When the hell was he in
It
one
wasn't.
of those?
When he
It's
was
the
in,
dude.
in
Yeah.
1976.
Yeah.
But
Oh my God. And Charles Grodin.
Charles Grodin was
Yep.
the bad guy in that,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess. Yeah, but it wasn't. I wasn't
Quotation on
impressed
that
with
one.
that. I wasn't impressed with that. And then they came out with Godzilla, the '98
2005.
version.
Yep.
I didn't like that version.
Oh,
We don't,
Godzilla
the Matthew
we don't-
Broderick.
we don't speak
We don't
of
speak of
that.
that one.
That was awful.
That
What
we
about
don't speak of
King
that
Kong 2005? Peter Jackson. What did you guys think of that one?
Too long, but still
Oh my
good.
God, I fell asleep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
do
You
it.
don't
Way
need
too
an
long.
hour before Kong.
No,
You
you don't.
could use
I need
half
to
an
see
hour.
Kong.
Yeah.
That
I
movie
need to see him.
was an easy 3 hour, like it was-
Three and a quarter. It was
it
over
was
3 hours.
ridiculously
And it was
long.
right after he did Lord of the Rings. So
Yeah,
he
he
had,
was-
here's hundreds of millions of dollars, Peter Jackson, do whatever you want.
Here's a blank
He
check.
did,
Go
that's
for
pretty
it.
much what happened.
Go for
and
it.
then it didn't really work out.
No.
And so,
It sat
and then he
there.
did Lovely Bones. That didn't work out either. And so
Yeah.
he's like, I gotta get a hit. And he did 3 Hobbit movies that weren't
Yep.
very good either, but it was Lord of the Rings light. So
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbits, and The Frighteners. I love The
I
Frighteners.
love the Frighteners.
Isn't that a
too.
good one?
Similar to Ghostbusters. Similar to
Darker.
Ghostbusters.
Darker.
Ghostbusters meets Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, it's
so
creepy.
Yes,
I
okay.
loved Frighteners.
I'll give that.
I love
like-
Frighteners.
I just loved how Michael J.
Yeah,
Michael J. Fox.
yeah.
He just the way that he came into every house. You saw him as a salesman coming in, and all of a sudden he's like, "Well,
Didn't he use like a toaster?
Yeah. Well, he had all those ghosts helping him, and Arlie Ermy was one of the ghosts doing his
Right,
shtick.
right.
I remember
vacuum
seeing
cleaner.
that in the theater and finding it hilarious, not knowing what to expect, just maybe
Yeah.
a scary movie. But
It's
it
a
was more
crazy movie.
comedy
Yeah.
than it was
And
scary.
what
It was horror and comedy mixed together.
And Peter Jackson will never make another movie like that. again, sadly.
Gunny was in it. Biff was in it.
Tom
Biff was
Wilson,
in it?
Thomas Wilson was.
Yes,
Was he in it?
I thought he was the.
Oh, in the
no.
no, the different guy.
Oh no, it was Busey. I always get those.
Jake
two.
Busey.
Jake
was
Busey.
in it.
was the villain.
Jake
He
Busey
was the killer.
villain.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always
was the
get
killer.
Biff and
Jake
Busey mixed up all the time.
Okay, I can see that.
They look too similar.
They're both blonde and villainous.
Yeah, they got that
One
brow.
looks a little more
They got the brow.
like his father.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. They got the brow going.
Yeah, I guess, but no, I do enjoy the Frighteners. I think that's a very
That's an
good
underrated. You never hear that.
underrated
Yeah.
movie, and that's that was until he did Lord of the Rings, which is amazing. How Peter Jackson must be able to talk a good game.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, that was his highest-grossing movie.
Yep.
And that barely made any money in the blockbuster summer of '96 with Independence Day and Twister
Yep.
and
Mars
The
Attacks.
Rock, and
Mars
Mars
Attacks.
Attacks was December. That came out a little bit later,
Wow.
but yeah.
I know years. I don't know months.
That
though.
came out. Well,
That's good.
It came, but still, everyone's comparing
Yeah.
Mars Attacks
Okay.
to Independence Day when it had nothing to do
Oh
with
yeah,
it.
Independence
yeah.
Day
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
That was the summer.
But that was the summer of Independence
Yeah,
Day. But
yeah.
those special effects, Twister was
Yep.
a big
Yep.
one that summer. Mission Impossible,
Right, right.
the Rock with
seeing
Sean
Oh my
Connery.
God, that's a good year.
I remember seeing Mission Impossible over like.
I saw that in the theater.
I was
yeah,
like,
that
do I want to see Mission Impossible or do I want to see Twister? I'm like, yeah, I'll go see Mission
they're both
Impossible.
Mission
good.
Impossible's a better.
Yeah.
I think
it was
Twister's
so-
better.
Twister had better special effects,
Yeah.
but they don't really hold up today.
No.
I mean, I
Twister
love
was-
Paxton and everything.
Paxton
God rest
is
his soul.
good,
Yeah.
and Helen
But-
Hunt was okay.
Yeah.
At the same time, it was like you went into like
Philip
as you're
Seymour
watching that movie, you
Yes,
the
that's right.
first
Small role. for
Two
Philip
things you
Seymour
see is like
and
you
Carrie
really-
Elwes.
Yes.
As a kid, I did not love Mission Impossible, but I did think that the train sequence
Oh,
was
that's a great scene.
phenomenal.
The whole
it was
movie.
fantastic.
And of
But
course,
with
the-
him hanging on the wire.
Yeah,
and
that's iconic.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed the first Mission.
And Danny
Impossible.
Elfman had a pretty decent
He
score.
did a good score,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
U2 did the theme, and
Yeah, I had
Brian
the-
De Palma
I had-
directed it.
I had
yeah.
the soundtrack on cassette.
Oh wow! I did not
Oh,
have
yeah.
the soundtrack.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
think,
fun.
but it was. I do remember they were playing that on the radio
Yeah.
and stuff a lot. Yeah,
That's
Because they
cool.
played the Mission Impossible. Like you didn't go anywhere without hearing part of the Mission
Oh, yeah,
Impossible
yeah.
theme,
U2.
or how it was like they did like the remix where it was like a dubstep one or like it was like three different like
There were three
yeah, it
three
was
versions.
Really?
It was
Yeah.
the original.
Moby? No, not Moby.
No, Moby did
Limp
not do it.
Bizkit did the one for part
For
two.
part two.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That
Which was. It would have been good without Fred Durst's lyrics. The guitar
Yeah.
was really good. The
Yeah.
heavy, it sounded cool.
And
It
Hans
was
Zimmer did the score to
fantastic.
that.
Hans Zimmer did the score. Danny Elfman did the score to the
First one,
Yeah.
Zimmer was 2.
And I don't know about the newer ones,
Third
but the
one-
newer
the
ones
newer
are still
ones,
good.
Third
too.
one was Michael Giacchino. Fourth one might have been also Giacchino.
four. I know four.
Four
to
was
now,
Ghost Protocol. 4 was excellent.
Yeah, four to now.
was
They
alright.
said everything was beautiful. And I haven't seen anything since 3. 3, I got to it.
4 to
And
Two
I
and
was
3 were
just
pretty.
like-
3 was the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say 2
couldn't.
was John Woo, and I
Couldn't.
like John Woo's style, but it didn't
Well,
quite
the
fit
final like battle
on the beach
Doves.
with the
They
motorcycles.
just kept kicking
And
each
doves.
other.
Yeah, I
And
don't
that's all I
remember.
remember. Kicking.
Oh,
Kicking
he meant
impossible.
John Woo loves the
Oh,
doves.
he has a
John Woo
dove
loves the
fetish.
doves.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Oh, doves. They go flying like mystical beasts.
the John Wick 3, that movie reminded me of something John Woo would
Oh,
direct.
the-
Very
If
Asian
he was
style.
very Asian,
Parabellum?
beautiful. Yeah,
Oh,
John
yeah.
Wick 3 reminded me of something John Woo could have directed.
The what was I
Fight
think,
sequences.
You know what, guys? We have to take a short commercial break. We didn't do that yet.
Oh.
So yeah, this will be our sponsor, Magnitude Jewelry, and yeah, we'll be back right after this.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
Hey guys, we're back to Under the Radar. And I just want to mention something that's happening right now. This is the Split Screens Festival, which is happening in the city. And it's basically the art of television, where they're going to be showing some new programming, some new TV movies, some things that they're showing. Better Things with Pamela Adlon, the Deadwood movie, showing that. The Fear the Walking Dead premiere. Boo. And The Good Place. So this might have happened already, but they conclude the festival tomorrow. So if you're, in the city, I recommend checking that out.
Just let sleeping dogs lie.
Yes. And also, guys, I won't be here next weekend because I will be representing the New York City Ghostbusters in Los Angeles for Ghostbusters Fan Fest. So
I would have been joining you, but
yes,
ticket prices are outrageous.
right.
The lowest price
I
ticket
almost choked when he sent me the message. I
was
was like, whoa.
yeah, the lowest price ticket and basically the lowest tier the price was $500.
To fly.
Yeah.
No,
No,
that was to
to-
get the ticket.
To get
That's
the
the
ticket.
ticket for the event.
But I got a
That's
flight
not including plane
Yep.
fare and
and hotel.
lodging.
Yep. Hotel was
That's
gonna
extra.
be $400.
And it was pretty much giving you absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're paying $500 to do what? To
just
just walk there?
be
And-
there.
Pretty much
yeah.
get on the lot. That's it.
I think they're doing a screening Friday night
Of Ghostbusters?
Yeah, the original. It's the 35th anniversary.
It was basically the whole plan of the entire thing was Friday night was a screening of both 1 and 2 on a 30.
Oh, I thought they were just doing the first one.
They were doing
30th anniversary
Yeah.
too.
They're
That
doing
is.
both.
Yes.
They were doing both of those. Plus, they were going to show. From what it sounded like, they were going to show some of the old real Ghostbuster shows, and
Cartoon.
yep,
Love that cartoon.
Yeah.
when I
and
was
also
classic.
like reveal a couple of the, I guess the new new plots or
Right.
new things that might be coming
Filmed
in.
any of that yet?
No, I don't.
Not at
I
all.
only
but
saw
I
the
think,
teaser trailer,
I think
but
they're
yeah.
just they're giving like more of like a hey, we have an
Sneak peek.
idea. Of
They've
who-
got a year, so
Yeah.
they got time to
I don't know how
figure
I
it
feel
out.
about this, guys.
I have faith in him.
I mean, just because he's his son, he's capable enough to
Jason
direct.
Reitman's directed some good movies.
Juno's a great movie, but I don't. See,
I thought Up in the Air was his
I don't
best
see
movie.
Ellen Page with a proton pack. I mean,
Well, he doesn't have to use. He's not using Ellen Page. He's using the original Ghostbusters.
I know, but
Yeah.
still, I'm very.
It's just going to be. It's a shame that Harold Ramis isn't
Yeah,
here, and the
true.
fact that it's Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
You can't. You know,
Yeah, you
it's a
got to-
shame
you
Harold
have to
Ramis
have
isn't in it.
you have to have
Some
Egon.
Like-
form or another. Yeah.
Dan, I was with you when the Answer to Call came out 3 years ago. Optimistic.
I liked it. I didn't
Yes.
hate it.
I was
Optimistic.
excited, but then I was like, wow.
I guess my
Optimistic
expectations
nervous.
were here, and
Yeah.
the movie came to about here, so I walked out.
Really? Okay.
It was a safe movie.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a happy movie.
was-
It's kid-friendly.
It was kid friendly, but I also
safe.
don't think that no one, even if you liked it, and I liked it, no one's going to walk out and say that's better than the first Ghostbusters.
Oh, hell
the
yeah.
original Ghostbusters is one of the most
It's,
iconic movies,
uh,
best movies of its era.
It's probably
for
the
sure.
best, my favorite sci-fi comedy of all time.
What are other sci-fi comedies? Galaxy Quest? I can't
Inner
think of other
Space.
ones.
Inner space.
Okay, it's a very small subgenre. I would say it's one of the best comedies of all time.
Yeah.
Wow. okay.
Ghostbusters.
Interesting.
As far as Bill Murray movies go,
Yeah, yeah.
as far as
Yeah.
Dan
Yeah.
Aykroyd,
The interaction between the three
oh,
guys.
they're fantastic. Yeah, I mean, 80s comedies.
Yeah.
That's way out. And 80s
up
had
there.
some great comedies.
I think it's in the Library of Congress.
It should be,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
absolutely it is. You're right. It is. Yeah.
Dan and I, we're both Ghostbusters, so
And Caitlin.
And Caitlin, sorry.
Women can be Ghostbusters.
There you
now.
go. As of 2016, apparently.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
but
I
it's-
still think
Yeah.
I think I've told this story before on your show, and probably will keep telling it every single time.
Preach.
It wasn't. You actually weren't a part of the story.
Okay.
It wasn't Boston where I threatened to kick you into the wall because
Yeah.
you weren't going to wake up
Yeah.
at 6 a.m.
Oh God. Yeah.
after a night of drinking
Don't
till
remind
4
me.
a.m.
Don't remind me.
But no, it was me, Phil. We went to Boston for the Boston Comic Con. The New Massachusetts Ghostbusters asked us to come down, and we went down there. We had our stuff. We had set up. It was me and everybody had to go and do something. So it was me, Phil, setting up and doing all the prep stuff for
Yeah.
our slime lab. And these guys came up to us. They were all dressed like Mega Man villains. The guy who was dressed like Light Man came up to both of us and was like, "Hey, you guys, did you guys like the new movie?" Like, I'm like, I liked it. And Phil was like, "Yeah, I liked it." And he goes, "That thing ruined my childhood." I'm like, then you probably had a shitty childhood.
I was going to say that he probably didn't see Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal
Crystal
Skull. Because if you want to talk about an iconic movie that ruined a childhood,
so excited for that one.
I saw it with my friend. He's like, "They're spitting on my childhood" the whole time he's sitting in my theater. Like every time something ridiculous happened, which was often.
Yeah.
They're spitting on my childhood.
I still think the portrayal of South Park with that whole thing
That was brilliant.
was
Yeah.
brilliant.
George Lucas was raping a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
was brilliant.
Why did they do
that to Indiana Jones?
You know what? I think nostalgia being ruined that's the topic for a different show, to be honest with you. Because
Yeah.
right now, we have to basically say goodbye.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. But before that, I want to hear from you. What are you plugging? What's going on in your lives, Jason?
You could check out all my reviews, all my audio, articles, everything on panandslam.com, www.panandslam.com. Follow me on Twitter at JasonKCritic. And write to me anything you want me to write about. I'll try to see. All my reviews are up there. I can be pretty harsh, so I'm told sometimes. But,
Just a bit.
it's good.
It's good.
I don't want you paying for things you shouldn't have to pay to see. So save your money and, like he said, watch something on Netflix if that's better.
Exactly.
But panandslam.com, and you could follow me on Twitter, Jason K. Critic.
I think you're a pretty damn good critic, so I don't know what they're talking about.
Thank you.
He's good. You're a tough critic, but you're good.
Honesty. That's what people can't take. He's honest.
Yes, he's honest.
Caitlin, anything you want to plug?
Just find me at Lithia's Cosplay on Instagram, Facebook. What is it? June 22nd and 23rd is Eternal Con, which we are going to probably be doing a panel on Sunday.
On Sunday. The time is right now. The time is to be determined.
TBI.
But at the
TBD?
moment, they're telling me one time. But it's going to be Sunday around sometime on the around the 2, 3, 4-ish spot.
All right. So it'll be a panel on cosplay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Basically taking that idea that you have in your head that's stuck right there and putting it into real life.
All right.
Making it like actually.
How to bring it to life.
Yeah.
Nice.
Basically
To
Frankenstein.
fruition.
Yep.
All right, cool, guys. Well, for our sponsor, Magnitude Jewelry, we've got June 30th is the Holistic Fair in Staten Island, and the July 28th, the Awaken Fair at the Roger Smith Hotel in New York City. And in September, we've got an event in Massachusetts. We'll get more details for that. But I want to thank you guys for being here. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for having
It's a
us.
pleasure coming. Yes. Thank you.
Always fun, guys.
See Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Yes.
I don't know.
Awesome monster fun.
I'll give it another viewing. You guys raised some good points.
Don't see Rocket Man or Changeland.
You'll forget about Changeland
Yes.
if you
Yeah.
do see it. So
We
that's,
almost
I agree
did.
with that.
that's maybe not the worst thing in the world. Rocket Man, just listen to Elton John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's not the worst thing that Randy's
It's
made
like
us
one of those
see.
movies you have on the background where you're cleaning your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good way to describe it. It's something you could watch while dozing in and out of sleep on a plane.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
perfect.
and then
Yeah.
you'll perk up when you hear a good song, like, oh, hey,
Oh,
that's
hey.
good. Oh, this is a slow song. I'll go to sleep. Yeah.
It's like it's like when I built my proto pack and my dad comes downstairs and he goes, "What the hell are you watching?" I'm like, "I'm not watching. I'm listening to Frozen." He goes, "You're watching Frozen?" I'm like, "I'm not watching it."
Not really. Not exactly
You're
watching,
experiencing it.
Frozen was a good movie.
Yeah. I never liked Frozen.
He just goes,
I wanted to, I just couldn't.
The only
yeah.
reason it touches home with me, Frozen, because my sister, well, you know how girls when they're little, oh, I'm a Disney princess, I'm more like this. My sister never had a Disney princess, but the opening scene with Anna, while she's waking up for her sister's coronation, and her hair is in like a poof, she's like drooling, and I was like, that's Alyssa,
Nice.
right there.
and then
So,
immediately she goes, "Yeah, you're Elsa."
yeah.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, we got to say goodbye, but I'll have you guys on soon. I'll have you on in about a month.
When the Tarantino movie comes out, I
months.
will not miss it. So.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Late July, I
I
will
can't
be
wait
here
for that
for
movie.
sure. Maybe once or twice before then, we'll see. But
We'll see.
guaranteed that I will be here for Tarantino's
All right.
new movie.
All right, guys. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. And I'll be, on social media until now and then. But I want to thank everyone for watching at home and on your devices. I've been your host, Randy Unger, and this is Unger the Radar. I'll see you next time, guys.
Cheers. Godzilla, still king of the
Simba.
monsters.
Yes.
Under the Radar is all new next week with more movie reviews and interviews on Strong Island Radio and Television. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week.